Vasyl Lomachenko, if he doesn't fight Teofimo, it's possible he could face Felix Verdejo, a rematch from the amateurs. We're going to talk about that. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Head over to my Patreon while we're speaking of it. We're going to have some fun over there, and that's the next empire I'm building. Or you can hit the join button to become a YouTube channel member. Now, Lomachenko posted this on his YouTube page, and it was a video saying that as far as he knows, he hasn't seen the contract for Teofimo, but he believes that it's agreed in principle. Bit confusing because the reports that have come out are suggesting that they're far apart of money and the fight is on the verge of collapse. So I'm wondering if he recorded this video, and you know it takes time to process and to edit, send to an editor or whatever, and it's just now coming out. But it doesn't, to me, if I had to take a stab at it, a shot in the dark, bow, smash the like button, I would say that it's a pre-recorded video before they ran into the interference with the money, which I've documented and reported about on my channel. But because it's not making sense. You know, he's saying like, we are waiting for the official announcement. He said from our promoter and organizers of the match. That's it, referring to Teofimo. Now, this just came out today, but so did this. This is a boxing writer. He said, I spoke to Egis Klimis, who's the manager of a lot of fighters from Russia, Eastern European fighters and whatnot, including Lomachenko. He said, I spoke to Egis and about the unraveling deal between Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. He says if Teofimo Lopez doesn't have a change of heart about the money, look for Loma to fight Felix Verdejo on October 3rd. We want Lopez. Let's sign the documents and go for it. Story to come. Now, again, it's weird that I don't know if Lomachenko's trying to put pressure in Top Rank. You know, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it looks like maybe Lomachenko's trying to put pressure on Teofimo to take the fight or make it look like Teofimo's ducking if he doesn't take the fight. I've already gave my thoughts on that. I don't think Teofimo is ducking, you know. A lot of people keep saying this pandemic. Who cares? We're in a pandemic. These companies are going to make money. ESPN is owned by Disney. How do you have less than $5 million to give the fighters in the main event? See, this is the other thing that doesn't match up. They're talking about Teofimo getting 1.2 million, right? 1.2 million to fight Lomachenko, who has most of the belts, and Teofimo himself has he has just gotten a belt as well. They're talking about giving him 1.2 million. And you look at the market, fighters like Jesse Vargas got roughly that. He got $1 million to fight Mikey. He got $1 million to fight in Mexico just last year against Humberto Soto, right? And that's all that they have for a fight like this. They got $4.5 million on ESPN, which is owned by Disney, and they're talking about putting it on pay-per-view. You know, it's not adding up. I understand the live gate. I understand the live gate where you're missing that with the pandemic, but I've already broken that down. These two fighters, they're not as big as, you know, it's a good fight. Don't get that twisted. It's a great fight, but they're not big like big superstars. If that was the case, then Lomachenko would have already been on pay-per-view by now. So he's not an established pay-per-view act in America. You know, Sky Sports might have put Luke Campbell, Lomachenko on pay-per-view, something like that. But in America, I'm talking about, he's not a pay-per-view star, nor is Teofimo. Versus you look at Canelo. Canelo fought Jacobs, and then Canelo fought, that was a unification against Daniel Jacobs, and Canelo fought against Kovalev, and he's an established pay-per-view star, or was, not really anymore with the DAZN stuff, but he was an established star, and he did like $8 million gates with Kovalev and Jacobs. So there's no way a fight like this with non-established pay-per-view stars. Oh, you see Paulie Malignaggi, his love and affinity for Eastern European fighters that have allegedly taken over his claim. You know, he's liking Lomachenko's page, so that kind of goes hand in hand. But the thing I'm saying is this. You did under $9 million. That's Canelo, who's had big pay-per-view fights with Mayweather and Cotto and Julio Cesar Chavez, 2 Golovkin fights. So he has a track record of, in the past, being a success, you know, especially in the pay-per-view market, you know, before he switched to DAZN. Lomachenko doesn't have no U.S. pay-per-views, nor does Teofimo. So with or without a crowd with this whole pandemic, people keep using this, oh, but there's no live gate. These two are not going to do a live gate beyond what Canelo and Jacobs did. Canelo and Canelo and Kovalev. You know, it's just not going to happen, even if there was a crowd. You know, the logistics there's nothing to support that, because if they were doing live gates better than Canelo, right, then they would have been on pay-per-view. Just kind of how that goes. So, yes, you do lose some money not having the fight with the crowd, but it's how much money do you think you're going to lose? And regardless of if you make the fight or not, that's the reality. The reality for Top Rank and PBC, like they're going to have to do without the crowd, because that's where globally where we're at. That's just what it is. So it doesn't, like, whether you put Teofimo in with Felix Verdejo, you're going to be in the same boat. But I think Top Rank, you know, I don't know if ESPN's willing to help, because UFC has put up the bigger combat numbers. So I think Top Rank, you know, if you just look at what I'm saying, right? Top Rank, they usually have fights where they only have one guy they have to pay $1 million, you know? When's the last time that you could think of that Top Rank, without any other promotion, so that automatically excludes Mayweather and Pacquiao, but when is the last time you could think that Top Rank, since being with ESPN, has put together a fight where both people, you know, guaranteed got more than $1 million, right? Usually, like in recent memory, Lomachenko, he's fighting Nicholas Walters, and they gave Nicholas Walters $300,000. They gave Rigondeaux not much more than that, and Loma's making $1 million. Or Jose Pedraza got a couple $100,000, but he didn't get $1 million. You know, Luke Campbell, I don't know how much he got. That was over there in the UK. But Anthony Corolla, I know he didn't make it. And Lomachenko for the Anthony Corolla fight got $3.2 million. So the point I'm making is it doesn't look like Top Rank is willing to have that extra expenditure. They really want a crowd, and if they can't get their way, then they're willing to collapse this fight, which is going to be a bad look. I don't think Teofimo is being unreasonable, and I don't think he's ducking. And you know, Bob Arum's comments are recently, I'm not going to say shocking, because I kind of expect it, but he said stuff like, I'm not going to lose millions because Teofimo thinks he's worth more. And that's the mentality. That's the mentality that boxing has had. And you look at the PBC, a lot of fighters are becoming their own promoters, and they're being advised by Al Heyman. So the fighters are getting smarter and knowing their worth. And I think that old guard of dictating so much and controlling the fighters' purses and stuff like that, I think those days are pretty numbered. You're seeing guys like Ryan Garcia, who's making so much money outside of boxing, you know, endorsement deals and stuff like that. He has said that he makes more money outside of boxing than he does in boxing, you know? So you're seeing the Ryan Garcia's like, I ain't taking 200K. I'm a star. Like, you know, look at my Instagram. You're seeing guys like Teofimo. Why would I believe that Teofimo is ducking Lomachenko for a reasonable request of more money? That's the reason you would negotiate. You know what I mean? That's exactly why you negotiate, is to get what you're worth. So why would I say that Teofimo is ducking, right? Because he wants more than 1.2 million for a fake undisputed. And the reason I say fake is because the WBC created confusion by adding additional belts to the lightweight division. So it's not really an undisputed fight for real. But that's not an unreasonable request. Listen, tell me how this adds up. Teofimo, look.
Hey, yo, Loma. Where you at? Madison Square Garden, that's where I'm at. Where the fans? Everybody want to see it. I'm waiting. The fans waiting. Bring my belts. That's what I'm waiting for. The takeover.
See?
Hey, yo, look.
So you're not going to convince me that Teofimo, him and his pops who have been calling out Lomachenko, and Lomachenko was the one that was saying, who is this kid? Nobody knows him. Get a belt first. Beat somebody first. He just did that with the Richard Comey joint. You know what I mean? So I don't believe that Teofimo's ducking. I feel he just wants a fair fight, and he wants fair pay. Bro, he just stretched this man Comey. Look. Oh. Ooh. The man did a somersault after. That man did a roundhouse. Look at him try to get up. That sounds like a Mike Tyson Punch-Out video game. That was nasty. So coming off that performance, it's going to be a total momentum killer if Top Rank can't get this done. Listen, I keep telling you, it's about what you can get done, period. So you're not going to convince me that Teofimo's ducking. He was the one pursuing Lomachenko. I think he just wants what's fair. Like, that's not a duck to me because he wants more money. And you know what the funny thing is? Peep this. This is a funny thing. You know, boxing always does this. Wilder's pursuant to Anthony Joshua, and then Eddie Hearn somehow tries to flip it, and Joshua tried to flip it like they've been chasing Wilder. You know, Teofimo and his pops been talking greasy and getting at Lomachenko. You're not going to convince me that all of a sudden they don't really want the fight. Give them fair pay, and I'm pretty sure the fight can happen. Look, he said, "I've been in the gym, you pussy. You a little boy to me. I'll kiss you on your forehead." And he tagged Lomachenko. He just put this a week ago. So he talking like that. I don't think he's afraid of Lomachenko, but he's afraid of not getting compensated properly. Now, here's another thing that's hilarious. You know, you got to use your brain, right? Again, if the Felix Verdejo fight, right? If that happens, I mean, who's checking for that? Like, it's not the same. You know, for one, Felix Verdejo never really amounted. He's coming off a good performance, but not against a big name. You know, so a lot of people didn't even watch that fight. And he's already lost. I know it's an amateur rematch and stuff, but it's not going to be the same allure, you know, because I don't think Felix Verdejo, he got in that motorcycle accident. He had that loss. So he's had some setbacks. And I don't think he's quite reached the levels that the hopes that people have for him as a Puerto Rican fighter. But this is my point. Lomachenko is slated to make $3.25 million. And look at what Lomachenko did in 2016. Vasil Lomachenko offers Nicholas Walters $300,000 of his purse if Walters can beat him. Remember that? So why doesn't he do that? Why were you willing to do that to Nicholas Walters, who was coming off of a draw to Jason Sosa, right? And you were willing to donate some of your purse because you were so about it and so Brody. You said if Walters could beat you, you were so confident that if Walters could beat you, then you would give him some of the money from your cut. So why is it up to Teofimo, who I'm pretty sure probably hasn't even made $1 million, you know, just from one boxing fight, right? But he gotta just take whatever because we're in a pandemic. That live gate shit is cap. That live gate, they're not gonna do no Canelo type of Mayweather live gate, Conor McGregor live gate. They're not. So like, I can understand guys like Conor McGregor and Pacquiao. I don't know what you're thinking. Fuck the Mayweather. You know, that's going to be harder to get him to fight 2020 because he represents so much money. He has a wild turnout at the weigh-ins and stuff. These two are great fighters, but they don't represent that type of fanfare and spending habits thus far. So once again, Lomachenko, he offered Walters some of his cut should Walters win. If the money is that tight, why don't he do that again? Say, hey, Teofimo, since this is a bigger fight, stakes are higher. Instead of offering $300,000 from your purse, offer $1 million. Say, hey, I'm getting $3.2 million. You were offered $1.25 million or whatever. If you beat me, I'll give you another $1 million. And then now Teofimo's up to $2.2 million. And then Lomachenko would have to subtract $1 million, right? and then he would be at 2.2. So that means it's a 50-50 split. See, boxing, I have easy solutions for boxing, but all of a sudden, you know, people don't. Shout out to Teofimo for this shirt, bro. He a real one. The easy solution. Why was Lomachenko so confident to do that? So Lomachenko posting videos and fans trying to make it look like I seen someone say Teo female and all these names and stuff, trying to make it look like Fimo is ducking. I don't believe that. I don't believe he's going to pursue Lomachenko in the way he was. Because I remember, if you watch boxing like me, they had Andre Ward, Bradley, and whatnot. They were lined up, the ESPN commentary crew, and they had Teofimo. I think it was for Lomachenko Corolla or one of Loma's fights. And they said, hey, you know, and they were building up and saying, hey, you want to fight this guy? Do you feel like you're ready? And I believe it was Bradley. It might have been Ward, but they were basically telling Teofimo that, hey, you know, take your time. You know, I think Bradley said that basically you're not ready because Lomachenko is a different level and stuff like that. And he's like, nah, I'm ready. Like, let's get it. So now you want me to believe that Teofimo's ducking? No, I think he just wants to be compensated. The pandemic, that's fine. But this Disney just, and I could go deeper. You know, I'm very astute when it comes to this boxing stuff. Very sharp. I read, pay attention. Disney just released their profits, and Disney has, I'm not going to say almost, but almost as many. I just said I wasn't going to say it, and I said it. But anyway, Disney just released their earnings and stuff like that, and subscriber counts. Disney has over 100 million subscribers, and they just launched Disney Plus, which owns ESPN. 100 million subscribers. Netflix had 139 million built-in subscribers, but Disney Plus is far newer than the Netflix platform. You know what I mean? And then ESPN, they said ESPN Plus app has 8.5 million. So with this type of powerhouse backing, how come they can't give Teofimo more money? Or like I said, if the money is that strapped and they're like, hey, this is all we can get, you know, then why doesn't Lomachenko do what he did to Walters, offer some of that paycheck? So just to make it fair, you know, instead of just trying to make it look like Teofimo is ducking. I don't believe that, bro. I don't believe it. You guys let me know in the comment section what you believe. And yeah, we'll take it from there. But yeah, I don't think Teofimo's ducking. I think he just wants to get fair pay. So this is what happens in boxing. People say that this person is the number one pound for pound, but they don't want to pay like that person's number one pound for pound. Canelo's recent opponents, a lot of them have complained that they were lowballed. How is that a thing if Canelo's supposed to be number one pound for pound or the face of boxing? Some people say Lomachenko, not me, but some people say Lomachenko's number one pound for pound. Then how come his events aren't paying like he's number one pound for pound? You know, fuck around, you look at the PBC, Derevyanchenko might make $1 million fighting Jermall Charlo off of a loss. So you tell me this kid undefeated? That's a good question. That's a good point. Does anybody believe that take home on pay-per-view that Sergey Derevyanchenko makes less than $1 million messing around and fighting Jermall Charlo on a pay-per-view? Does anybody believe that? Right? Charlo, big fighter, big name. Both Charlos on one card on Showtime. So top ranked ESPN, they don't sound like they have confidence in their pay-per-view. How can you not afford this if you're talking about putting it on pay-per-view? I guarantee you Derevyanchenko makes more than $1 million, bro. And that's sad because how is Derevyanchenko off of a loss, even though we know he should have won, fight on pay-per-view, on Showtime pay-per-view, and I promise you he'll make more than $1 million, right? He got $5-6 million to fight Golovkin. You don't think PBC gonna give Derevyanchenko $1 million? Come on, bro. Why would he even take the Charlo fight if he just made $5-6 million fighting Triple G on DAZN? The pay scale ain't making sense. And even if you factor in the pandemic, it don't matter because Showtime pay-per-view, I promise you, Derevyanchenko, ask him. You know, next person to interview him, ask him if he's happy with his paycheck. But meanwhile, Teofimo ain't, you know, and then it could create the collapse of the fight. So, you know, Disney, ESPN, top rank, they got to get it done. You know, it's going to be very disappointing if they can't get it done. Point blank, period. Like I said, get innovative. Lomachenko can offer some of his purse like he did to Walters if he really wants to fight. But I'm not just going to believe that Teofimo all of a sudden don't want to fight Lomachenko. They don't sound likely. And you look at similar pay fields and whatnot. Teofimo, for this type of fight to get 1.2, pandemic or not, is not making sense to me. You know, it's really not making any sense. There's what you would say lesser fights where people made more money. Like, you know, Mikey Garcia, he fought no offense to Mikey, you know, but Mikey, he fought on DAZN in February of this year, you know, right before the pandemic, but still he got $7 million to fight Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas got reported 1.2 million. And you mean the B side of that particular equation gets the same amount as Teofimo in a close to undisputed, and I can't say it's undisputed because of that catchweight. Devin Haney fought some blonde-haired dude on the Logan Paul card in November, and he got $1 million. The two YouTubers, KSI and Logan Paul, got 900,000. Why would Teofimo's, especially if this fight's going to be on pay-per-view, why would his purse be anything close to anybody like that? You know what I'm saying? So it's not a good look. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think of Felix Verdejo versus Loma. You know, it could be another tactic to try to get Teofimo to commit. Like, hey, we'll move on to Felix Verdejo if you don't sign up for the fight. But ultimately, I think Teofimo should stick to his guns. Don't let the companies scare you into doing it. You know, people are gonna say whatever they want to say. Luis Ortiz, bro, he got $7 million, they said, to fight Wilder on Showtime, or excuse me, Fox pay-per-view in November. $7 million. So with Challenger, Wilder already knocked out Ortiz, bro. Wilder knocked out Ortiz. Don't let these companies fool you into thinking they don't got no money. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, bro, this is all fact. Wilder knocked out Luis Ortiz, and he got $7 million reportedly to fight Wilder on Fox pay-per-view after Wilder had already knocked him out. And he's a challenger, never been a full body champion or anything. Mike Tyson will make more than $1 million to fight Roy Jones. This is a 54-year-old versus a 51-year-old. How is boxing trying to convince the golden child, the kid with the golden voice, that this is fair for Teofimo to get $1.2 million for a near undisputed, and Mike Tyson's 54 and Roy Jones is 51, and they're about to fight on pay-per-view, and somehow Triller, which is not even a dedicated boxing app, could come up with the money to make that make sense and a pay-per-view price point to make it make sense for all parties involved. Two 50-year-olds, they can make more than Teofimo. Y'all got the game fucked up, bro. Two 50-year-old, hi, I'm Mike Tyson. You know, check out my next fight. My next fight on Thriller app, I'm gonna make more than Teofimo. You know, so Lomachenko, he gonna get some 3 million. Bro, this don't even make sense. You mean to tell me Triller app as a whole got more money than Disney? I am Walt Disney. I am William Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Google. Like Kanye said. You mean to tell me the Triller app can get it done to get two 50-year-olds out of retirement and stuff and give them over $1 million, but Teofimo can't because he's young? Bro, they trying to milk this kid. They trying to take advantage. I'm not with that. Call me when it's gangster.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, hi, I'm Mike Tyson, come and watch my fight. Floyd Mayweather, easy work, I'm rich. And Manny Pacquiao, yes, it's up to my promoter, just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego, signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.